So, what's up, guys? I'm here with the Chief, the High Chief himself. There he is. We're going to do some arm wrestling talking. Josh might hop on, but we got 22 minutes till the guys should show up. You know?
Yeah, won't be long. This place will turn into a little testosterone pit. Have a lot of youngsters here.
A lot of youngsters.
Yeah,
A lot of fatties.
yeah, a lot of fat boys. Well,
At least one or two.
maybe. It's always a surprise because we don't know what to expect. We get those every other weekers. We get the every weekers, but they're not as plentiful anymore. Sometimes we'll have 20, 22 guys here, and then other days we'll have 6 or 8.
Yeah.
But it's funny how sometimes with the smaller groups you'll get a bigger, better workout. You're in more of a consistent position for a longer period, as opposed to the variety enhancement, which I think is beneficial as well. For your tendons and stuff.
Sometimes with the smaller practices, you keep the thoughts, the way you're working on the same.
Right.
Instead of,
Yeah, a lot of times practice is educating me about the work I'm going to be doing the next week, and then challenging it on the next practice date with the variety. It's kind of an aggressive plan because you don't have that same pressure every week. So, but in a way, it keeps you more well-rounded. We were talking this morning a little bit about, training out of position. We seem to be strong arm wrestlers when we're all tied into our position. Nice lock, nice cup. Everything is where it should be. But at times, we're answering to what happened to us. Somebody got out on us. Somebody flat wristed us or got us out of position, and now we're fighting back instead of fighting in our position. We're fighting back to our position, or at least to try to get to the pin, whether it's flat wristed or anything. So those positions that we might find ourselves in, we don't plan on going there, but if we might find ourselves there, I still want to be strong there. I still want to be like, whoops, and still win. Come on. But I think that's what happens over time. At first you find out that, wow, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty strong. And then you meet your match when you can't get there. It's a lot more about not being able to get to your power, I think, than it is just overpowering everybody. Our initial, thing is to get to our power. Hopefully by the time we get there and the match is over and we win. Sometimes it doesn't go that way. And you end up in, an 11.5-minute match with Crazy George.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
And sometimes you even got to do it twice.
It kind of shortens your day for everybody else. You think, I was always kind of an endurance freak through the sport. Meaning, I could wrestle multiple classes and back-to-back matches. I really like that part about my preparation and stuff. Sudden, you're eliminating certain parts of your offense. Suddenly you can't stay tight. Suddenly your wrist is gone. And you're fighting with other things, but it's not a complete package anymore. You got some funny looking dude over there.
Yeah, Josh is here. What's up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
Not too much. Just living the dream, hanging out with Chief. Gonna do some arm wrestling a little bit.
Good morning.
How you doing, big guy?
Let's see. We got Brian. Dev says, "Bra, what's your favorite movie?" Chief, do you have a favorite movie?
I don't know. I like Caddyshack.
That's a good one. That's classic.
And Pulp Fiction's pretty good. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it.
I haven't seen it, so I'll check it out.
Definitely.
I've seen
Caddyshack?
Caddyshack though.
I was gonna say you've never seen Caddyshack?
No, I've seen Caddyshack, but not Pulp Fiction. I've seen pieces of it, but not the full movie.
I had to watch Pulp Fiction like 4 times just to understand it.
It is pretty deep.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
deep. It's got a following kind of thing, you know.
It's like
It
who's
is,
in again?
man. You got John
Travolta.
Travolta
Oh,
Now I remember.
and
yeah.
the guy who screams and says "fuck" a lot.
Right, but he pulls some religious stuff out, you know. The black guy, and then you got
Samuel L. Jackson or something. Isn't that him?
Yep.
There we go.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Ruger
And the girl. He's famous too.
The girl.
Was it Selma?
Portman?
Selma Hayek? No. No.
I don't. Fucking the Kill Bill lady. What's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about. Kill Bill.
Still a Quentin Tarantino movie. What's her name? Emma. Babe. What the fuck? Kill Bill. What's that lady's name? Uma Thurman.
It's not Emma.
I'm not sure.
Huh?
Uma Thurman.
Emma who?
Uma.
There you go. That's her. Yep. Crazy movie. But anyway, the onslaught of youngsters. You know, I've been watching online about all these other tournaments and all these other super matches, and there's a lot of unknown faces. You know, I'm not sure how it's gonna, iron out. I would imagine that there's going to be now sort of tiers of arm wrestlers. You know, not everybody can be great, but man, there's going to be a group that's a lot better than average. You know, I don't know how it's going to shift. It's almost going to be like beginners.
So do you think that it's kind of watering down the super match pool? Is that what you mean?
Well, for one, that certainly could be the case, because there's super match promotions where I look at all these matches and I'm not interested in the least, because there's not a single name and they all look like, they might be coming out for the first time, or they all have a year experience at best. I'm not really interested. As they iron out, as they start making a name for themselves, okay. But even still, if it's going to be like it's been going, there's going to be a lot of names that you might be interested in watching. So that means there's a whole lot of names that, not so much. It'd be cool if you let people, really kind of find themselves through the tournament experience. Of course, that's kind of biased in my opinion, because I grew up on the tournament experience. I always prepared myself for 25 deep classes and, being able to wrestle all day. And at the end of the day, you're standing on the top of a pile of carcasses going, what the heck? How am I still here? But the feeling of that, it was great. And the bigger and harder the class was, the more excited I was. So turning my energy or even my head around to one-on-one, it was a little difficult. Because a lot of times I'd be in a class with a guy I'm worried about, and he'd get tangled up with somebody else, and I'd be like, what the heck? All of a sudden the day got easier, or vice versa. I could be stuck in something and say, okay, now I got to win everything. Once in a while, I would take an early loss and have to come back and smoke the guy twice in order to get the prize. But that to me was fun. That to me was like that loss lit a fire under my ass that, definitely made me go, hey man, you're only human here. Get going. Get serious. They're all out. Everybody's out to do their best and be on top. When you get the privilege of being that guy, then it's no joke,
I think all these newer promotions are coming out with super matches due to the fact of it's helping increase numbers of getting new people in, because new people, that's all they see are super matches. They don't see real tournaments. They see super matches. Super matches are getting eyes in the door. And then when you get eyes in the door, these guys are starting up with these littler promotions that want to highlight these guys and their career on the way up. You know, it's a little different from 20, 30 years ago. There's fucking cell phones everywhere to document everything. So I think that's what they're doing. So they're doing their own little thing with these smaller promotions, hoping that one day their small promotion, it's been going on so long, gains enough traction to where it becomes a big promotion. So I don't think that they're doing the wrong thing, because I understand that the more promotions there are, it kind of does water it down, but they will weed themselves out. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it'd be like the rise and fall of a lot of little promotions, and then certain ones will stay strong and grow.
That's how I take it.
Yeah, but the individuals themselves speak. I think that I saw a match with Seth and Paul Talbot this morning, and to me, those two guys are way up there. They deserve a super match, but they had to go down there and play around in a tournament in order to face each other. I think that was the East-West tournament last night that I saw. And they've been in tournaments, but I think having to go against having to fight each other in a tournament is pretty interesting, because they're kind of elite, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Paul is.
I know another elite pooler. I think you're standing right next to him.
Woo! Yeah. Yeah. There's some. I think there's some debt to pay to be considered a legend or elite. Sometimes, and I've seen it happen where people would come in here and they get, fantastically strong very quickly, almost like, being anointed in some way, and they make a big statement and then go away very quickly. And that to me is not a legend, nor is it elite, in my opinion. It's just somebody who sold their soul to the devil and found a way to impact, the sport. To me, it's more admirable to see someone who's gone through the trenches, fought their way up, especially if they've had a natural talent, no matter what they've done since then. I mean, look at Devin. Devin was, just kind of a normal, small, serious athlete in his early days of arm wrestling, and he perfected a skill, and then he started, researching how to make himself big and strong too, and ended up on the world stage often. So I mean, it depends on what you want to put into it. It's a lot if you want to go to that level. Trust me. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are obviously gifted, but having something as fortunate as a physical gift, or the tenacity in your head to be that much of a warrior or a champion, that's just part of it. Because once you step up past average, then people work with their gifts too. Some people work with their gifts and they develop very quickly. It used to piss me off how, Big Timmy could get strong in 2 months, real strong in 2 months. Just say, okay, I'm going to fight, Vovota or something, or whoever. It didn't matter who they handed him. He started training hard. And in the course of 8 weeks, he would go through a transition. He would be fierce, Whereas for me, I trained for a year, it seems. I'm just kind of more, I got talent, but I don't have that gift of just being able to get strong in a week,
It's definitely like that,
Yeah, it's like farmers. Farmers do that. The season comes around and all of a sudden they're ready to work 13-hour days, throwing hay bales or something.
throwing things around.
He was a Midwestern guy. He's still around. I don't think he's pulling much. Nick Zena.
Oh, yep.
Nick Zena. Very powerful man. Heavyweight national champion. He flew out here to the dungeon just for a training. Good guy. Good guy. Good kid.
Any video of that? Anybody take any
I don't
video?
know.
There's gotta be some video.
No, probably not. That was in the other dungeon.
Oh, that was the original.
Yep.
Dungeon. Oh man.
Yeah, I started hosting probably 20 years ago. Yeah.
You remember who was at your first practice in the original dungeon? You remember who was the group, the first people? Like who was the first group? Just popped in my head. If you can't, no worries. But
I know that. No.
that's right.
I know Tim was there early, but that was probably, a year or so into it, early on. Wow. I don't even know. It might have been some of the boys from Bristol. Who I used to go there to train, and they started coming here, like Victor Sargent and Josh Stark and people like that. Ron Ermini has.
Yep.
Ronnie has a couple of years on me as far as being in the sport, I think. At least.
Could be.
At least. Yeah, but I mean, we got a lot of good people over there. Some of the bigger, stronger guys. Reggie Ward was a monster in Connecticut. He was a correction officer lived out in Middletown. He was probably 350, 375. Big man, good man, very strong. He got wars with Silverback down there. What's his name? Paul Walters. And, Dave Morocco in his day was very, very savvy on the table.
Absolutely. I only pulled Dave once.
Yeah.
I was here. I think you were here. I think you were here as well.
Yeah, but he was 100 years old, right? Like me.
99. About 100, 99.
Still pulling pretty strong for an old guy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, he's got his style. That's for sure. And it's pretty consistent. I mean, I got a video of him somewhere where you probably wouldn't recognize him, for one, because he's so fit,
Shredded,
and
athletic looking.
but he still has that, that crazy post.
Posting back.
Yep. Works for you. If it works for you, you stick with it. And it's not a bad move for longevity in the sport because it doesn't seem to destroy your elbow as much as a hooker or something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
More muscle. I mean, it's still tendons, but
Right. I think if you're fortunate enough not to get hurt, like seriously hurt, then tendonitis is sort of inevitable. It'll sneak up on you little by little, arthritis, tendonitis stuff from working your hands, working your wrists. Not so much the competition as much as the preparation for all that.
All the reps.
All the training. Because you think that fluidity and that lubrication is good for all of it. And obviously it is. But, we're not talking about milking cows and throwing bales of hay. We're talking about trying to be stronger than anybody else in the world, if you're serious about it. And if you're fortunate to find yourself the strongest man in the world that day, because everybody who's that strong and that capable of winning that competition should be there. There's many times I'd show up to a national or a championship where I wanted to meet up with somebody that didn't come that day. And that's unfortunate. I mean, that's one of the good things about super matches. Although, to your point, Josh, maybe round robins, maybe four-man matchups is even a better idea when you're talking about that level just before the top. You get four of the best guys and you do a round robin or a king of the table type of thing,
I love it. That's an excellent idea. Absolutely. 100%.
Because now you're looking at, and they did that recently with like a 200-pound class. I saw Jason Merlo, Robbie Russell and a bunch of guys like
Yes,
that.
sir, they did. Yes,
It was
sir,
very
they did.
good.
Who did that? I forget who did that. Who did that?
That was excellent, by the way. That was a good choice. And Bob Brown was involved. That out in Bob Brown's place, maybe? It might have been the
I
John
don't know.
Brzezinski.
That's why I'm asking, because
Oh, right. John
I
Brzezinski.
did see it. I just don't know where it was.
That was Utah, John Brzezinski.
Yeah, maybe it was the John Brzezinski Cup.
That was
Okay.
at Cheers, yeah, or whatever it was.
Cheers Bar or something.
That's his Bob's Bar.
Bob's Bar.
Yeah, I believe. And anyway, that to me was great. You know, and they had a handful of them. They had probably 6 or 8 guys, right?
Yeah, I think at least. I think it was a good amount.
Wasn't Giannis in the class? I mean, we're talking
like
Yes.
like top level.
Halibut.
I think it was.
So, and you had the Bullet. What's his name? The Ayers guy.
Oh,
The what guy?
the Ayers, the Bullet. Why the hell I shouldn't forget his name? Because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Corey Miller. I'm so sorry, Corey, and I fucking forgot your name. My bad, bro.
Yeah, everybody.
Holy shit.
It's early.
I'm man. That was a good class, and it was surprising to see, you know, Corey and Albert and people like that fall off and fall off. And Arlen was in the class, Terriaco, right?
John Therian. Yes.
John Terry,
Correct.
they all got nothing, man. Yeah, wasn't it Merlot that walked away in that one?
He won it?
Yeah, dude. Merlot
I'm pretty
took it
sure
all.
most of it.
Merlot took it all, I believe.
Yeah, he took it convincingly.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Convincingly.
Oh,
And Merlot
bro.
was fighting.
It's
So what do you think
funny.
about?
He's so good at just his move. It's like poetry. And like when I see it, it's physically like poetry. I see it as poetry because it's like perfect and fluid, and it looks pretty.
What if you go to Bogdan? Now tell me what you think about Bogdan and Paul.
Bogdan is just a, pardon my language, dude, he's a fucking hammer. Off the go, I don't know how he does it. He's so good to just push his shoulder, cup, and just chop down. It's so fast because I was on a camera and I didn't catch it. I had to rewatch it.
What about his match today?
I didn't see. Oh, no. Paul Cruz all the way. I think if anything, Bogdan gets one. But I think Paul Cruz takes it at least 3-1. That's just me, though. That's just me. I suck at this, so let's see.
Yes, I say Paul Lynn. Yeah, I think he wins 3-1 too. How about you, Chief? How do you see that match going?
My logic is going with the long lever and high top roll, like Bogdan pulls like me. I feel like if I hooked up with Bogdan left-handed, he would probably just be surprised the first match, and then know what to do to keep me from doing whatever I want. He's just bigger and stronger. But I think we pull so much alike that it's a hard thing to stop, and it takes a minute to figure it out. So I think it's going to be interesting if the stronger man wins, because the stronger man is definitely Paul.
Yeah, I want to see if Bogdan can chop down quicker than Paul can catch. But I think Paul will be able to catch it, 100%.
Yeah, the angle is very, very different. Paul doesn't usually have to match up with a shoulder roller. I
think he's going to have to shoot in to match, honestly, because Bogdan is so forceful at just those first few inches to get everything, which is to force his shoulder in there behind his hand, set his cup, and just push down so goddamn hard and fast. It's disgusting.
And Paul's good at catching somebody there, but Bogdan.
That's exactly what I mean.
You can't catch him here and just fight it out. He's gonna be catching him here. The guy is so long, he's gonna stretch him out further, and it's gonna be a different place for Paul. Unless he's in total control. I can't understand. why I wouldn't try to just absolutely dominate the placement of the match if I was Paul. So no matter what Bogdan wants to do, Paul manages the location of the battle. If he doesn't let Bogdan's levers and size dictate where they're going to battle, then he's probably okay. He's fine. I just have a hard time thinking that a guy that takes Jason Merlo, I'd say it'll be a good match. It'll be a good match. Theoretically, power wise, I would think Paul would dominate the match. But
I think as long as Paul can force the hook, he's gonna destroy Bogdan inside, because I'm not sure Bogdan's very good inside. His inside thing is that chop down press, because that's why he stayed out of Paul Cruz's hook.
We always said styles make matches. I mean, if let's say Bogdan can get through Paul, but Bogdan can't get through somebody else and Paul can't, it doesn't surprise me that styles make matches.
Correct.
He can beat A beats B, B beats C, but A can't beat C. What's the deal here? It's a real common thing. So he has to train for that shoulder roll. I saw an interview with Paul down there, and he did sound, kind of nervous, and like he was, rightfully so, not to take this match lightly whatsoever, knowing how dangerous Stoika is, and how fast, and how prepared he may be for this. He had some time to think about Paul too. We've been thinking about Bogdan, but you got to figure Paul has been. They've been thinking about each other and watching a lot of footage and preparing for things that they expect or might expect.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you think? Let's see. Who do you think is a better technical arm wrestler?
Before you answer that, we got a question that said, if Bogdan beats Paul, will that put Bogdan inside the top 10?
Yeah, I would say so. I think Paul isn't he the champion right now? Isn't he the belt holder?
I don't know. Chief, do you know?
In the East first, what is that, a 95 or a 100 kilogram?
I think it's a 95, right? Or is that 105?
I think it's 95. So is it 220 or is it 209? 209. I think he competes at 209.
Wow. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's top dog, right?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's the belt holder. So if we're not mistaken,
is this a title match as well?
If he's the belt holder, I would think it would be a title match.
I don't know. Does that okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a best of 5 or is it a best of 7? That would be a good tell.
I'd have to look. Give me a second. Maybe I can grab something while you two talk. I can figure it out. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that stylistically, because of the weight, and Bogdan has been, maintaining and fighting against internationally, I think that he's more technically prepared. Not that Paul isn't technically prepared, but Paul has an agenda that you can almost predict. It doesn't make it easy to counter. It doesn't make it weak. Well, you can predict it, and it's fierce and it's successful. It works for him. So to me, it's going to be about what approach Stoika takes to counter that, to be first, whatever it is. He might think he has to be first. He might think that he has to stay, flat wristed or outside or back, whatever it is, to counter Paul's onslaught. But Paul's attack has been very, very effective, very, very successful. And he's, surprisingly fast for a hooker. Paul pounces like he's been pouncing. It could be over really quick first round or two, and that's that does something to a man, in his head, in his heart. All of a sudden,
Jumbles them up.
jumbles him up. Speaking of fat guys, hey,
Are you guys not recording?
no, we're live.
Oh, I thought you guys were
We have
recording.
We got anything else to say? You want to say anything to the people, or you prefer to stay off camera?
Good luck, Paulo.
That's one of our anonymous friends.
Is that
team?
He said, "Good luck, Pauline." Is that like "Good luck, Pauline" or "Good luck, Pauline"?
Oh yeah.
Is that
Good
Big
luck,
John?
I don't think he needs
You
it.
got your
but-
hands
No. Big John's up in Mass.
Oh,
Hi.
Little phone's a little busted.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering why I couldn't see him.
It's the peas. I heard somebody called you out. Who called you out?
Somebody did?
Who? I don't know.
Because it's that time. It's time to
Yes.
arm wrestle.
Right. Time to take my Geritol
Yep.
and get going.
It's gonna be a good practice.
But there were some good matches up there
Yeah, so
at the tournament.
wait, somebody called me out there or online?
Somebody who won a left-handed match, and they said, "Who do you want next?" And they said, "Oh, maybe Peasley."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
When I said he's not gonna show up.
Oh. Who was that?
I don't remember,
You
but I
remember?
remember yelling that in the crowd
Oh. You can't really come.
twice.
I mean-
I think twice.
What was the
I don't
second
know,
one?
gentlemen. It's right arm, but I don't know if it's best of what. I have no idea.
Me. Yeah.
Huh?
What's up?
I said I found it, but I have no idea if it's best of 5 or best of 7. But it's right arm.
Okay.
They don't put that on the cards anymore for some reason.
Oh no.
Nah.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
But Josh, is there anything you want to say? Ask Chief, or is there anything you want to say to the people?
Nah, just my normal bullshit that everybody doesn't want to hear.
What does that mean?
But-
Smash back?
But since we're here and we're about to leave, before you leave, we got 6 people in the chat. We only got 7 thumbs up. If you can do us a favor, smash that thumbs up. It doesn't cost you a thing. Greatly helps out the channel. Lets us know you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to Stone TV. Don't forget to join. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you're notified anytime Nick goes live, drops a video, or makes a comment. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had fun. We're going to try to do another video. We're going to see how that goes, but it's going to be the members only video. Make sure you check out Josh's channel, that Cameraman 98.
Members only.
Members only.
What do we have?
But
Bow
thanks
ties
for
and no shirt.
That's for the paid membership.
Yep.
But thanks for watching, guys.
Not everybody. can
And
do
we
that.
will see you next time.
Trying to close this.